All right, guys.
Hey.
Welcome back to Downright Random. We are your host for the show, even though we have no other host for the show, so we're always your hosts. Anyways, guys, we are Downright Random. I am Mike. This is Janine.
Hey, guys.
And we are glad that you're back. So we don't really have too much of a conversation topic today other than we found this, or Janine found this list of just random question things.
They're basically just like conversation starters, and
we thought it would be just fun just to go through them and just see what I guess our initial thoughts are.
Yeah.
So even though you have the questions, I think you need to just answer also.
Yeah.
But even though you're asking me the questions.
And we can, if you want, we can go back and forth or whatever. I don't know. Let me see. I'm going to screenshot it. So the first question, because we did kind of look at the first question, and that was, what would a world of clones look like? Of clones of yourself look like? So basically, like, I guess it's kind of like that, The Sixth Day. Weren't they cloning him in that movie?
They were, but they didn't have like an entire world.
Yeah.
Of him.
Well, I guess like in a scenario, I guess like what would it be like? Let's say that there's like 5 Michaels. What would that be like?
I don't know.
You know?
I feel like there'd be a lot more beards in the world.
So here's the thing. Like, are your clones going to do the same thing that you would do? Like, for example, would you have a clone that would live out, like, let's say it was something you wanted to do, but like you yourself couldn't do it. Would you hope that your clone did that other thing? Like, for example, like you were doing, like, you wanted to be a cop. So would you have one of your clones be a cop? You wanted to be...
But would you experience that as well? Would you have those experiences?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, how, like, connected is it? Like, are you connected forever with your clones, or are they just like a...
Like, is it a This Is Us kind of situation
like
where your clone is tethered somehow, and you're experiencing what they experience?
Yeah. So that, I don't know.
I think that'd be experience overload. I mean, if you have 5 of them and they're all doing something different, and the main one...
So let's say on that scenario, like you had 5 different versions of you. Like, what would you want each one to do? Like, for example, I know, like, if I had 5 versions of me, probably one would be like a singer. One would probably travel and just like take pictures and try different foods and stuff. Another one would probably be like a famous like author.
Okay, so as far as like these experiences, you have one main one, right?
That's yeah.
That creates the other clones. So my question is, does the clones of... Okay, so you being the original one, what satisfaction are you getting of another clone doing something that you wanted to do?
That's true, because eventually you may get jealous of that clone.
But what if another clone gets jealous of another clone? Because even though your singer clone may enjoy singing, but it's like, maybe I want to go travel.
Yeah.
And then does that clone now kill that other clone just to go travel?
Oh my God, I think we just made up a scenario to a movie. Guys, don't steal it, okay? I think this would be because that's so true. It's like you're mad because you're like, how do you know I wanted to be the author clone? Maybe I wanted to be the clone that was just living a normal life. Like, because obviously there'll be one that's probably like, you know.
I guess there's 2 things. You'd have to figure out how you choose which clone does which thing.
Yeah.
And then do you just like draw straws, or does that clone tell you, oh, I want to do this?
But you have to see, the thing is like, how
are
much
you raising
time?
This clone?
That's what I was gonna say.
Child?
Like, are you raising this clone? Because like you have to form them. Like you have to be like, this is what I want you to be.
So how fast does that clone grow?
Yeah, I know. And then let's say all of a sudden, like you raise that clone to be a singer, and then they fail. Do you kill that clone and start all over? Because you're saying, I wanted you to be a singer, but I wanted you to be like a top of the chart singer.
Okay.
And then
So here's the next thing. If the clone...
My imagination is
if you have to raise the clone, because clones don't automatically become like adults.
Yeah.
So they have to grow up. So if you were raising this clone to an adult, do they age at...
Like dogs?
Do they age at the same rate?
Yeah.
Or do they age quicker than you? So that means that technically they'll die before you, because they're already going to be like age 80 when you're still age like 40.
That's true. I don't know. See, that's where you have to... Because like people are like, oh, this person came back as a clone, and it's like, but how are they a full adult already? That doesn't make any sense.
Because that would mean that if they age that much, they're gonna be like the age of a dog. They're not gonna make it to a certain age without making it being like every 1 year is like 7 years. So that means that you could get in a full adult soon, but then they're gonna die quicker.
They're gonna die quicker because they're only gonna have like a good 15 years, not even. Yeah. So I don't know, but so what would your clones be though? This scenario obviously is not gonna work because the math doesn't work.
I think all my clones would increase the population in Alaska.
So you would send all of your clones to Alaska?
Why would I send them anywhere? They'd probably just go there.
Oh, so you would let your clones do whatever they want to do?
Well, I'm a very strong-willed person, so my clones would probably just go wherever they wanted to go.
Oh, so you're saying that my clones are weak?
I'm saying that you said your clones are weak.
Maybe I'm really good at teaching
you said
them.
your clones are weak. I didn't say that.
Them.
I said that my clones are strong, so maybe...
I don't think they're weak. I think that they're giving direction, and I would see which ones are best at it, and then I would say, okay, you're fit to be, the singer one, the writer one.
And then what if your clones turn on you because they didn't want those?
They wouldn't come after me because they won't know how to get back to me. Once I set them free, I'll do the Men in Black thing to their brains. I don't know that I exist.
What about like This Is Us? They knew how to find each other because they were tethered together.
Yeah.
And again, if you give them all these missions to do, you don't get any experience. So you're still going to be like, I wish I was a singer. I wish I would travel. I wish I would be an author.
And then that's when...
And then you're jealous of your clones. And then you're going to have to probably kill your clones now and do it yourself.
And then take their place.
But you can't take their all place. That's not how it works.
Okay. So... So basically what we're saying is it wouldn't work.
It's not going to work.
Yeah.
Just in the matter of like you can't control them all.
It's true. I can see that. And you're not going to experience what they're experiencing either. Yeah.
And then you still don't know like what we've talked about as far as like clones. Is the gene going to split properly and you're going to get the right clone and not just get an evil one?
Yeah. It's very true. All right. So next one is, what old person things do you do? I can answer right off the bat. I take naps.
I take naps too. But what other old person things are?
I guess waking up early, complaining about back pains. I don't know. Talking about old stories, reminiscing. I think that's kind of like
all you're doing is making it sound old.
I think the whole like thing of like old people things, I don't really think that's like you go to Hardee's, old people do that too.
I do go to Hardee's. I do like Hardee's.
Like, why do old people like Hardee's so much? Well, actually I do know that coffee.
Because the coffee keeps them alive.
Yeah. One time I had the coffee, which I don't usually get Hardee's coffee, but Mike likes Hardee's, and I got the coffee and I felt like I was having like 15 heart attacks all at one time because my heart was like, hello. It was like, it really pumped me. It was way too much coffee. So I think that's what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's a little rude saying like old people things. I don't know.
But again, like what are old people things?
I don't know. I guess that's the thing that young people would say and, be whatever.
I guess it's one of those things where it's if you're young at heart.
Yeah.
That's why all these old people are doing TikTok and being creepy.
Yeah. And if you didn't see our video about TikTok and how we feel, like, I'm not saying everything is horrible on TikTok, but
99% of it is.
Yeah. Okay. This next one is, would you like a world that was filled with magic? Like if people had like magic powers and stuff like that.
If everyone had magic, it wouldn't be special.
It wouldn't be, because it would be like whatever everybody else has it. It's just about what is your magic power. That's basically.
It's not going to change anything because it's no different than like if the world is like filled with superheroes. Like not if everyone is super, no one is super. It's like in the Incredibles movie, how like if everyone's super, no one's super. It's one of those kind of things. If everyone can do magic, it doesn't matter what the magic is. Like if you can make cards appear out of midair, but this person can make coins appear out of midair, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not anything.
Yeah. I don't really think that it would. Yeah, I feel the same way. It's like it's not really. And then at some point, I always think this: people are going to use that magic for like bad things. So,
Oh, they already do. That's why there's
yeah.
tons of scammers in the world.
Yeah,
And con men,
yeah.
which is mostly what magicians are, but for good.
So talking about magicians, we'll go on that for a second. Like I know you watch Penn and Teller.
Hmm.
And I used to watch David Blaine. I didn't really watch, and I guess back in the day, people watched David Copperfield.
Hmm.
Never watched Chris Angel. Did you watch Chris Angel?
Mm-hmm.
You did. Why did you watch him? You just liked his.
It's entertaining.
Yeah.
Like, it's all set up.
Yeah.
Every bit of it set up. All magic is set up to
Yeah.
some point. It's all like an orchestrated thing to try to trick people
Mm-hmm.
visually.
Yeah.
And it's what it is. And Chris Angel is just a very good performer to make his magic appear
Mm-hmm.
to whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's the same with any of them. The only thing about David Blaine, I enjoyed David Blaine for a while, and I was enjoying his street magic stuff and his close-up effects.
Mm-hmm.
But then once he started doing all the endurance things, I thought it was stupid and it's not magic.
Yeah.
Yes, it's showing the will of a human and how
Yeah.
much torture they can take, but I don't care.
Yeah.
You want to put yourself in a box in the middle of New York City in the heat and stuff like that
Which,
for
by
hours.
the way, I did. I think my brother went to that one. I think my brother went to the one when he was like standing up on the thing in the park, and I think we both. I'm trying to think if I went when my brother went. Maybe my brother just went when he was in the thing, the whatever the water was or whatever.
Buried alive or
Buried
whatever.
alive. Yeah, I think my brother went
Or
to that
homeless,
one.
whatever it- I don't
Yeah, I
know.
think I got sick and then I couldn't go. But that's not really magic.
It's not
That's
magic.
yeah, it's just endurance. Like but the thing I liked about David Blaine, like you were saying, is that it was like you can like watch his specials and you would see people that kind of like looked like you, and then it was like it wasn't on a stage. It was like taking it to like neighborhoods and all that other stuff, and he was still able to do all this stuff. And I think that was like the interesting part. Whereas like when they're on stage, you can be like, well, they probably like did some kind of fancy trick on stage because you're not up close or
Right.
Something like that.
It's easier to hide things.
It's easier to hide things, yeah. And I think that's the thing that I liked about it. But I don't know, I just never really got into Chris Angel. I thought Chris Angel just, even though there's a lot of darkness to a lot of magic stuff, but I don't
Yeah.
know. I think Chris Angel just came off really dark to me.
Yeah, I think David Blaine. I think a lot of his stuff it's because it was so up close. Like it was still like sleight of hand on certain things, but it was just his misdirection was probably perfect.
Yeah.
So you didn't catch it. And even if like when you watch it on television, you try to rewind it,
Yeah.
like you're still, even though you're focused on one thing and then you try to like look at other things, somehow you still get focused on the other
Yeah.
thing, and you're just like, this is
Yeah.
is pretty good. It's a good sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Because like the ones that I enjoyed the most out of David Blaine, there were probably like 4 of them I really enjoyed. The levitation one, not so much. I just didn't really care.
Yeah.
It's kind of whatever. But the one of them I definitely enjoyed was there was this guy or this person they were doing a card trick with, and there's like a coffee shop on the other side, and he threw the cards against the glass, and then it's on the other
How
side.
do you do that?
I'm sure there's someone
Yeah.
that's there to help with the trick and do all
Yeah.
these little things, but just the fact that it was done so well,
yeah.
that it's just like that was so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
As far as card tricks, I also like the one with Fruit Loops.
Oh,
that
yeah,
guy
yeah,
with the
yeah,
colored hair,
yeah.
and he bent the card and he made it go up to the top.
Yeah.
Like again,
And
it's
then it
sleight
just
of
like
hand.
pops up, and you're like,
Yeah.
what the? Yeah.
Like I mean, that's a form of cardistry.
Yeah.
But it's like it's just very good because you probably just have to hold it a certain way, and then you release a card and you hold it down a card a certain way to
Yeah.
make it pop up. I understand possibly how the trick works, but it's still so good because I know that despite how I know something is done, I may not still be able to do it myself.
Because you have to have that still that charisma.
You still have to have that skill to
Yeah,
create it.
Yeah.
It's like I understand how like light bulbs work, and I understand like all the things with it, but I cannot make a light bulb and make it work.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things that I understand it, but I understand the skill it takes to make those kind of things, and I appreciate that skill. Same thing with magic. There are certain things I understand the magic itself, but I still appreciate it,
Yeah.
so I can do it. And then there was one where he like took some guy's watch.
Yep. I was thinking about that too. And then he's like going like this, but really his fingers were just kind of like Was he like taking the watch off?
No,
or
he
something?
already took the watch off.
Yeah.
But then they were beside like a jewelry store, and he points inside the jewelry store, and his watch is in the jewelry store on the other side of the glass, and the jewelry store is closed.
Yeah.
But it's in there, and then he takes a piece of newspaper and sticks his
that's
hand
right.
through the newspaper and takes it out of the window,
Yeah.
and then does it. Like that's pretty impressive. I don't know
Yeah.
how he does that.
You know the other one that was crazy when he had the cup of coffee and then he did like this.
Oh,
and
the
I was like,
change.
How do you do that?
There's a lot that you don't know, but I mean, like there's lots of different ones that you don't
Yeah.
know. And then the other one I think is funny.
Yeah.
Is the one where he like takes the chicken's head off,
Oh yeah, and people
freaked out.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was hilarious.
Yeah.
But
So you were one of those kids that got a magic book.
I did have a magic.
Yeah.
I actually had a magic kit, and it was actually an old magic kit. I don't know if it was my mom's
Yeah.
or whose it was, but it was an old magic kit, and I tried to do them.
Yeah.
I did some of it okay. I even later in life bought a few magic tricks and bought like a special deck of cards that was magic trick cards.
Yeah.
And I would do like the choose your card, and I'll pick it out. It's hard, like.
Yeah.
And like the crazy thing is my special deck of cards, it was cut a certain way, so you can feel the cards and how they're different, so you can know each one of them and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I could do some tricks. I wasn't very good at it, and most of it was because my fat hands, my
Aw.
fat fingers and stuff. Like you have to be able to hold stuff, you have to be able to move things,
Yeah.
and I don't have those kind of like hands.
Yeah.
So I couldn't like hide things. I couldn't like move
Little
things.
stubby fingers.
No, well, I mean they're not stubby, but
No,
they're
I'm just
like
kidding. Yeah.
even trying
Yeah.
to text on a phone. It's like I'll hit the number 9 before I hit the number 0 or the letter 0, and then all my text will look crazy because
Yeah.
it's just insane.
Yeah.
But so I would do it, and I could do it okay. I wasn't great at it, but I tried. Yeah, I enjoyed magic. I still enjoy magic.
Yeah.
I think it's a fun form of entertainment, but you have to take it as entertainment.
Yeah. Do you like those shows that like kind of reveal how some tricks are done? Like, why do you think they started coming out with those kind of things?
I think it's one of those things that people wanted to know, and I think also some magicians wanted it to come out. Some magicians are against it, but I think some wanted it to come out because they were just tired of people them explaining it to people. But also it's one of those things that if it does come out, their version of the trick may be different than that.
Yeah.
And then they can alter it and make it in more their own, so
Because they're going to see those shows and be like, oh, I know how he's doing it. And then they're going to watch it and they're like, but that's not exactly
right.
how.
And I think that's one of the fun things about that Penn and Teller show, Fool Us. I don't know if it's still on. I haven't watched it in a while, but like they would be like, we know how that trick was done, and they would explain it in a roundabout way without giving everything away. And then they would be like, no, it wasn't done that way. Yes, it was done that way, kind of thing. And if it wasn't done that way, I think that they're surprised because they thought that they knew it, but because there's a different variation of that trick, that it kind of surprises them and it makes them enjoy it. And it makes them still love the magic art,
So you don't think it has anything to do with like voodoo or anything, right?
No.
You think it's just like,
I don't believe in voodoo.
okay.
It goes with all my other things, kind of with all the other religious
It's
and
just
spirits
about
and stuff.
it's just about basically having a skill on how to like trick people. It's basically
Well, it's not about tricking people. It's a form of entertainment, and it's meant to amuse and amaze people.
yeah. So you were saying about the levitation thing. Why didn't you find that interesting?
Maybe it was because of the way people's reactions were.
Okay, they were like over the top.
It was like too much over the top.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Too much emotion makes Michael uncomfortable.
It's not that too much emotion that makes me feel uncomfortable. It's that I feel that too much emotion sometimes feels fake and forced. And when something is forced, I don't believe that it's truly like their feelings.
Yeah. Okay.
They're
just trying to do it for
it's
the
like
camera and
overacting.
everything.
Yeah, for the camera kind of thing. They're just doing it
Yeah.
just for the reaction, not doing it because that's how they actually feel.
Yeah.
And I feel that the ones that actually are true responses are when people are just speechless. When they're just like, yeah, and that
was, I think it was Harrison Ford when he was at Harrison Ford's house, David Blaine, and then he was in the kitchen. I don't remember what the exact trick was, and he kind of just looked at him like what?
because
like,
it shuts your brain down.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to understand what just happened.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Yeah.
And I think that is a true like response to something like that, because
Yeah.
just kind of responding and being
And
over the
running
top,
away.
going over the
Yeah.
top, it can be.
Yeah.
But I think the majority of the time you're looking for someone else's response to your response.
Yeah. So going back to the levitation thing, I remember one time, this was like when the whole, David Blaine thing was still popular and everything. Me and my mom, my brother, it was like some church event in like a park or whatever, but we were sitting down on the grass and there was a guy who came up to us and he was saying he was a magician and all this other stuff. And so my brother, who was like really into David Blaine and everything, was like, oh, okay. And he's like, yeah, and I can do like the levitation trick. So mind you, like I said, we're sitting on the floor. So he goes, okay, hold on, just wait, and I'm gonna do the levitation. And he starts like acting like he's doing it, but his foot, the tip of his foot was like trying to like lift him up to make it look like. Now, if we were standing up, there's a possibility that it would look like he was levitating,
Yeah.
but because we were on the grass, we could see his foot at the
Right.
angle, and it's like, dude, you messed. So my brother was like, no, your foot. So it was like. We got, and so I'm thinking, is that how David Blaine was doing
I think it's
it?
a form of that. I think
Yeah.
there's a couple different methods, and I think that's one of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's his only form.
Yeah. How do you think his other form is? Alien. I'm just kidding. He's part alien. Like how, if you were going to do it or try to explain it, how do you think you would explain it or do it? If you were
I would
gonna
have
try-
to see the exact one and try
Yeah.
and come up with my own
Yeah.
conclusion. But I do know that way, and I've done it before. And
Yeah.
but it has to be at the right angle.
right angle,
And it
yeah.
has to be all these things. So
Yeah.
it's. I think if you're starting out, that's probably the way to do it
Yeah.
until you can find another method, and then you try the other method, and then you try different things. Because here's the best way to do that trick is if you know like the 3 probably or 4 different ways to do that kind of trick. You start with the first one, which is going to be like doing your little toe thing. And then when someone points it out,
Yeah.
you want someone to point it out.
Yeah.
And then when they point it out, then you go to the next one, and then they're
level.
like, wait a second.
How did he do it?
That's how
Yeah.
you shock people. And I feel
Yeah.
like that's what like David Blaine does. He knows multiple methods to do
Yeah.
things, and he uses all of them together to make it like actually appear the way he wants to do it.
Yeah. Interesting. There was like a young guy for a while that was
But-
doing some magic.
Yeah, there's a few of
Yeah,
them.
but
But one of the things that I don't really enjoy is like mentalists. I feel like
okay.
because mentalist is a form of mathematics, and they know that, like they're gonna say choose a number between 1 and whatever. Okay, or like when they tell you to point to something on the screen, and they do, all right, now slide your finger across over to this and do this, and then and your finger's on orange, or your number is 8. It's a mathematical equation that's gonna be, no matter what you do,
it's gonna.
it's always gonna be that answer. Because it basically, narrows everything down.
Yeah.
And I know this because back in like school, there are those kind of things that you learn. How do you always get to the number 35 or whatever? And you can do all these different things, and you always end up at 35.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, and I feel like mentalists, they're trying to trick your brain and make you think that you just did something, and they can do it through the TV or whatever. But it's all mathematics.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's not. I don't feel like it's a true form of magic, and I don't think that it appears magical to me.
So it's not magical, but can you respect that they're doing it, or you don't like it at all?
I feel like it's a way to trick people who are not understanding what it is.
Yeah.
Like
But isn't that the same thing as magic, though?
I feel like mentalist is more about your intelligence. It's like I bet you I can make you say orange, and then they go through all the things, and then
they eventually
and they
back-
get you
yeah.
to say orange kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's making you feel like you're not intelligent, or it's preying on your lack of intelligence on a certain field.
Yeah.
Not just your amusement or your child intrigue or whatever it
Yeah.
is like that. I feel like it's preying on your lack of intelligence.
Interesting stuff. I never actually thought of it that way, but
But I do like cheesy magic though too.
like what?
Like I know you'll go crazy about it, but back in the day you had like Carrot Top,
Oh gosh.
but you have like other people like him.
Yeah.
Like it's stupid magic, and it's so quick, but it's just like it's
somebody
stupid.
saying to themselves, "Wow, Carrot Top! I completely forgot about that guy."
But I'm talking about Carrot Top before he became like Hulk Carrot Top.
Oh my gosh, that was terrifying. It was like he had too much spinach. He's like,
He had too many people like bullying him.
He went from like Shaggy from Scooby Doo to like The Rock.
Yeah.
Like seriously, it was just like what the. I think I guess people were just making fun of him, like he was a scrawny redhead, or
Yeah.
you know, and so yeah.
But I enjoyed his like just form of comedy,
Yeah.
which is like, you know, magic, but it's comedy in there as well.
Yeah,
Like The Amazing Jonathan. Do you know The Amazing Jonathan?
I don't think so.
Okay. His comedy was very dark. But his also magic was very dark. Like he would do like the things where he's like putting a nail up his nose and things like that.
Ew.
But he would include something else with it where it's kind of
Yeah.
like crazy and scary.
Yeah.
But he would include something else with it, and it just became funny and just his misdirection was comedy to make you
Yeah.
laugh.
Okay.
So he's creating this magic, but while you're laughing, he's pickpocketing you or whatever he's
Oh.
doing, and so you don't know what's going on, and it was hilarious. I mean, unfortunately, he had a lot of health problems and stuff like that, and things, but and he stopped doing it for a while, but I think he did come back a little bit, but yeah, Amazing Jonathan was really good as well. But it was more the crazy comedy kind
Yeah.
of magician kind of stuff. I mean, Penn and Teller did the same thing. I mean, their stuff is very comedic.
Yeah.
On stage, it's just like, you know, their form of Abbott and Costello with magic kind of
Yeah.
thing. Like, even as a kid, like, I remember one time.
And I can say I'm not really a big fan of Penn and Teller. I know of them, but I can't
See, my
really
parents,
say.
my parents weren't really a big fan of him either.
Yeah.
But okay, there was this one time, I don't remember how old it was, and this is probably going to sound really bad, but I knew the magic is just, it's just visual trickery. I knew that as a kid. Basically because I was intrigued by it and I was trying to do it myself. But there was one, and I don't remember them ever doing it again, but it was like one of these live things they did. It was like a special, and
Uh-oh.
I stayed up
Uh-huh.
late to watch it. And I think I had I took my parents' small little TV into my bedroom just so I could watch it. And one of the things
We
that
may
like
have
captured
an
me,
overlapping story in a second. Go ahead.
like, so one of the things was they had this rabbit. You know how they pull rabbits out of the hat and stuff like that? So one of the things was they were hiding the rabbit. And they were like doing it like they were hiding the rabbit. And then they were having this wood chipper. And then they acted like they put something in the wood
Oh,
chipper.
God.
And blood came out the wood chipper and everything like that. Like they killed the rabbit and stuff. But they don't kill the rabbit.
yeah,
It's all an act. But it's just like that. Like just amazed me because it's like
oh
it's so
no, it was supposed to terrify you.
It's not. No, it's not that it like I'm amazed that they killed the rabbit.
Oh.
It's amazed that they have this visual that they make you think all this
that
stuff.
rabbit, yeah.
That, you know, but then they pull out the rabbit from somewhere else and things
he
like
was
that. You know,
fine.
and yeah, he's fine.
It was just a different rabbit though.
It may have been a different rabbit. I don't know. But it's like it's things like that. And then like when they did like the
Yeah.
bullet trick, when they caught a bullet, like all those different like it's I don't know. It's
Catch a bullet. What's it?
Catch a bullet.
It's from Rush Hour, guys.
Catch a bullet with his bare hands. But no,
yeah.
it's like I don't know. I was intrigued by that, and I always remember that.
Yeah. So now that you're saying like this live special, I don't know if it was the same special, but I remember there was a special that came on when me and my brother were watching it, and the magician was like, there was an orange box on the screen, I think it was, and he was like, place your hand over the orange box or something like that, and then my brother could probably tell you because he got so mad at me. So I covered the box, and then the guy said it's going to reveal how the trick is done. And he goes, now if you covered the box, something like that, he's like, then you missed how the trick was done, and you'll never see that ever again. And of course, back in the day, you would never see that again because unless you were recording it, you know, it wasn't like, oh, you can hit rewind or whatever. My brother was like, why did you cover the box? And so it could have been the same special. I have no idea.
I don't know what that one
Yeah,
was.
but I don't know what it was. I just know he was like, why did you cover the box? And so...
But see, the funny thing is, again, that's a mentalist prop. That's a mentalist.
Yeah, because there probably wasn't even
because there
anything.
may have not shown
Because
anything.
I'm pretty sure everybody went
And
to the thing.
everyone
and
put their
covered-
hand on
yeah,
the thing.
Yeah.
And the people that didn't do it are like, those people just got tricked.
Yep.
There's nothing on the screen.
But you got tricked also because, you know, you should have covered it and you weren't
Right.
part of the game.
Because maybe if you covered it, the trick would have
trick
been
would've-
shown.
yeah.
But because you didn't cover it, you didn't see the trick.
Damn it, my
But
clones,
again, that's
my
another-
clones will be.
That's another mentalist issue.
But I was a kid, okay? I was a kid. But anyhow, let us know if you guys like magic, or if you ever tried a magic trick or whatever, or like, if you grew up watching David Blaine or any other magician, did you ever go to a magic show in person? I don't think I've ever gone to like an actual magic show.
I've seen a magic show.
In person? Mm-hmm. Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Well, let us know if you guys watch that. And this is a magic show right now. Mike's going to disappear. Reappear. No, but yeah. So let us know. Make sure to definitely comment and go back to some of our older podcasts and leave comments.
Did I disappear? Can you see me?
I don't know. Are you there?
What?
He's there. He's back. Can you see yourself?
I don't know where I am.
But no, let's
I feel
go
like
back.
I need to disappear. I'm going to disappear.
Go back. He's gone. He's gone. So like I said, I'm going to run the show from now on. Go back to our older podcast, leave comments, comment, share, subscribe, and like, and do all that good stuff.
Share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell.
Do all that stuff. If you're listening to us on the audio platforms, give us thumbs up, share there, and yeah, check us out on Instagram, downrightrandom.com. No, downright random. Sorry, guys. I think the disappearing mic threw me off. There you go. And then, and definitely come back for the next one and just see what we're talking about.
See you later, guys.
Bye.